All right, welcome to Take One with Samantha Fremont. I am very, very excited to be introducing our next guest, who is Melbourne-based musician Kaiyah Mercedes.
Hi, it's so nice to be here.
Hey, it's great to have you on the show. You recently released your newest single called I'm Gonna Be Famous, and I'd like to think the title is prophetic in the way that you are going to be the next big A-list celebrity.
That'd be nice.
So can you tell me a little bit about this song and why you made it?
The song's a bit of an interesting story. I was told by an old friend that my ex had been posted a story or something like saying, "Oh my God, looks like I'm going to be famous. How cute." Referencing another song that I'd written about her. And I thought to myself, that's so funny. I should write a song using those exact words and just really make it a huge dig into someone who put me down and is now trying to almost take some sort of credit for my success. So I called my producer and told her, and she was like, "I'll be on Zoom in 5." And we literally wrote this whole song in about an hour. We just had so much fun, and that was about 2 years ago now. So ever since, we've just been playing it, and I've been waiting to release it. Such a fun and silly song that I think people are really liking.
Yeah, it's great. It's basically the anthem for anyone who's been told that they're too much. Honestly, I've been jamming to this basically ever since you started teasing it. Yeah, it's an absolute bop.
Yeah, I think a lot of the people who listen to my music are people like me who, had people not care about our success and then put us down and want us to be quiet, and they don't care to hear us speak. But then this is a song where I was kind of like, no, that's not how this works. I'm a musician. I'm going to do my thing, and I'm not going to be ashamed of it.
Yeah, and honestly, it's great to see you thriving out there. And also, one thing I've been telling everyone about you is the red hair. It is iconic.
Thanks. This was my post breakup hair, and it's really stuck. I came out of this relationship, and I was so I was a shell of myself. I felt like I had all of my confidence had been stripped away from me because I had this person putting me down, and I kind of wrote this song and dyed my hair and became even more bold and more confident, and this hair is kind of a symbol of me finding myself again.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, I love it. And also going back, I'm drawing a blank on the name of the song. It was where you introduced the ex who you kidnapped in the I'm Gonna Be Famous music video. Is it with
Trying to Hate You music video?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, because I've created this universe with my music videos where I actually have the same co-star. She was in Digging Graves, Try to Hate You, and the I'm Gonna Be Famous music video. And I think she might have even been in one of the other music videos too, but we've joked that we've created this universe. Her name's Amy Staunton, and we've been friends since we were 12. And she's amazing. We kind of have created this universe of she's playing that other person in all of these music videos, and it's symbolic of my life experiences with someone else. She's also just really fun to have on set.
Yeah.
There's not many people who would let you do what we did to her in the I'm Gonna Be Famous music video.
And that was bold, kidnapping, tying her up. Wow.
Yeah, I actually had this idea for the music video so long ago. We originally wanted a private jet, but we decided that a limousine was going to be way more practical. But we literally got on set and we had the rough idea of what we were doing with the music video. And then we just kept coming up with these fun ways to torture her. We were like, what if I got my dog in the music video, and then we chloroformed her. We came up with that on the spot, and then what if we like shoot a cork into her forehead? And then I was like, wait, let's get some double-sided tape. That all happened like on the music video set. None of that was like we'd come up with before. Yeah, that was all spur of the moment. Just me and my band and Amy just being idiots like we always are. And somehow it turned out good.
Yeah, and I also got to see at the end of the music video, you posted up some little behind the scenes moments as well, which is a very special look into how you make your music videos.
Yeah, I got the first cut of the music video and I said to my director, I was like, I know you have some bloopers in there, because we spent the whole video just laughing to the point of crying. I had to touch up my makeup so many times because I was laughing so hard. And so I was like, please put in some bloopers. And I always watch the credits every time I watch the video because it's my favorite part.
Yeah, mine too as well. It was... Yeah, I always love seeing how they make, like, how things are made. Which, again, I do actually want to go a bit more into your writing process. I want to talk about the first song from you that I ever heard. It's a little song called Manic. So I feel like this is kind of like the prelude to I'm Gonna Be Famous.
Yes. I actually wrote Manic with Satali Mack as well, who is my producer, and she's also one of my best friends. We've been making my songs together since Hide With Me, which was the first single after my first album. She produced my entire second album as well as these songs. And writing with her is so cathartic. And I feel like moving into this new genre of that like heavier, sort of more dancey, jumpy around sort of music has been so fun to do with her. And it's about these same time in my life, these same experiences, and it's definitely a sort of prelude, I think.
Yeah, and I think the lyric was there was a lyric that you said that you're the kind of girl you'd fall in love with. And
yeah, I'm the type of girl who makes you want to fall in love, but I'm damaged from a fairy tale that ended kind of tragic. Those are some of our favorite lines. I remember we were stuck on that part of the chorus for so long, and I came up with that, and we just sat there and we were like, whoa! It was so fun to finally write. Like, I'd always written sad songs and stuff that's really poetic, and I still love writing like that, but it's fun to channel my love for lyricism into something fun and more on the silly side. Like, I can throw in these lines, these one-liners that just hit, and you're like, damn! Like, it's just so much fun to channel that different energy.
yeah, and I absolutely loved that as well when I was like, so, because this was, when I first heard that, I'm like, I need to get her on this show. But yeah, it was one of those moments that just, one of those lyrics that really stuck with me. And I'm like, yes, yeah, you get what it's like to fall in love, to fall out of love.
You know, after experiencing my first few relationships, my newer songs are definitely so much more real, and I feel like have a much more real take. Because my first album released when I was 15, I think, and I wrote most of the songs when I was 13, 14. I had no idea what I was writing about. I was writing about books and movies and stuff I made up in my head. Now I'm writing about real stuff, and it's really, really fun.
Yeah. It's always, I feel like you can hear the difference as an artist develops not only their craft, but also has those life experiences to draw on.
100%. Like, I haven't really listened to my first album since I released it, honestly, but I know not only has my vocal technique improved so much, like I'm a singing teacher now, my vocal technique has gotten so much better over the last 6 years, but my songwriting comes from a different place, and it's only improved over the last 6 years.
Yeah, it's Josie who interviewed me for the first episode. She mentions this big quote, which is, I think it was, be so good they can't ignore you. And that is definitely the vibe I'm getting over here.
I'm starting to make music that is so much louder than I've ever done, and it's attracting a whole new crowd of people who are different and not only connect with those sadder songs that I will always write because I love a good sad song, but they connect with being able to just lose yourself in music for a couple minutes. Like, Manic is like 2.5 minutes long, but it feels so much longer. It feels like a moment.
It's an experience. I was actually listening to it on the train here, and I'm just there like tapping my foot and trying not to just like start dancing on the train.
It's a feel good song. Like if you ever want to just have like a little dance break, I love a good dance break when I'm getting ready in the morning and just like dance along to even a 3-minute song and just like shake out my body and just like get lost in a song for a minute. Manic is such a good song for that. And it's really cathartic, you know, with all the swearing and stuff.
But yeah, it is absolutely amazing that you've been, I guess, finding your groove. Again, I know the music puns.
Gotta love them.
Yeah. Probably a few too many from doing I actually started out doing interviews with musicians on TV, so. Oh
wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, so I've got a few of them saved up. But yeah, I also want to talk to you about the other musicians. You did, I think it was Digging Graves with LIE.
LIE, yeah, she's a really good friend of mine. Absolutely incredible musician. She was my first friend that I ever made in the music industry. I think I was about 14. She's up in Queensland, but we've met a few times. I've gone up to see her. She's come down to see me. And as soon as I wrote Digging Graves, it was the last song I wrote for my album Trying to Hate You. I knew I wanted her on it. She just has this beautiful, haunting voice that's so different to mine. And so I texted her, I sent her the song. She came down to record it. And it came out exactly how I pictured. She didn't get to be in the music video, so I added Amy in as that ghost figure.
Yeah, when you said Amy was in that one, I'm like, oh, wait, where's LIE?
Yeah, I wish she could be there, but she wasn't going to be able to fly down. So Amy was this ghostly figure that was sort of representing Jolie's her name, Jolie's part in the song. But yeah, she's absolutely fantastic. Like, my whole family loves her songs. We listen to them in the car. My brother has her songs on his playlist, but not mine. She's absolutely fantastic, and I'll always adore her music.
Yeah, and honestly, her vocals, I think, with this song, when I heard them, I'm like, it's kind of like it. I think the only comparison I can make, which I know it might sound cringe at first, is Into the Unknown, where you've got you've got the leading vocals, but then you've got that voice of the North Winds coming in, and that was like when I heard hers, I'm like, yes, yeah. It's like, you know, these two voices that you wouldn't necessarily put together, but somehow they work and it elevates the whole song into something amazing.
I really wanted that contrast and that haunting vocal quality, and she just delivered 100%.
Yeah, she's incredible. And I'm definitely going to need to add her to my playlist as well.
Please do. Her song Ghost is a personal favorite.
Yeah, it's always good when people when you get like the top song recommendations. So that is the first one I'm going to be listening to as I'm packing up in here. But yeah, I also wanted to talk now a bit more about live events. So you have been going to basically every place in Melbourne and meeting a lot of adoring fans. Actually, you met one the other day who gave you a very special present.
Oh my God, yes. I had my I'm Gonna Be Famous single launch at the Bergie Band Room. Love the Bergie Band Room. I performed there like a million times. But yes, I got given like a Kaiyah Mercedes doll with, it was like the outfit was like what I wore in the I'm Gonna Be Famous cover. And I got sent it a while back. They asked permission if they could make it and everything. And I was like, yes, please. This is so cool. And it looks just like me. Like, we're twins. And I see it like around the house and stuff at home because I have it in my kitchen at the moment. I'm going to get like a beautiful case for it. But it's like the details are spot on. I'm like so impressed. And I nearly cried at the show when I got it because I was like, no way. I'm a doll. Like, that's so cool. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, honestly, I saw that and I'm like, that is so cool.
The details were like literally even down to the rips in my fishnets, like unbelievable.
Wow. Did you know this person before they made the doll? Or?
They've come to a show before, but otherwise, they've been really incredible supporting me over social media. Big fan, and I love their work as well. Like the dolls that they make are so cool. They make a lot for, of commissions, but also other artists around Melbourne, and it's such a cool gift for us to get. Like that's so incredible.
I have to say, it's almost like getting, it's like when an actor finds an action figure of their character.
Right? Like, oh my God, I feel like a superhero having a doll of me. Like, it's so cool.
And I do want to ask, do you feel like a superhero when you get up on stage?
I feel, honestly, I feel happy. Like, and that feels like a superpower when I'm on stage. The first song, I'm always a bit more nervous, but then, you know, they're my people in the crowd. I always refer to them as my people. That's a room full of my people, and I see their faces and I see their happiness, and it is so, like, intoxicating. Like, I just want to put on the best possible show I can, and I enjoy every minute of it. It's so hard to keep myself from constantly smiling because I see people singing along with me. Like, usually there's always a girl at the front of my shows who comes to a lot of my shows and knows every single word. And my little cousin was at the front and she knew all the words and was dancing. And it just like, it's so beautiful, especially seeing other autistic people, other disabled people, like other queer people, like they're my people and they're there with me. And it's just so beautiful.
Yeah, and it's great that you've that at all of your shows. I've honestly been wanting to come along, but you create like such a community vibe, and where people feel included and accepted, and especially for like queer communities and disabled communities. Like I've definitely noticed a lot of people just I guess not being as welcoming as they should, and yeah, it's great to see that there are these spaces where people can go. And yeah.
I've always said to my mum, like when I got first got diagnosed with autism and then started getting my illnesses, like at first I was like, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want that to be what I'm known for. But then I realized that the reason that I am so confident and comfortable in who I am now is because of all the people who had talked about their stories before me. Like people like Chloe Hayden, who are so inspiring. Like when I got diagnosed, my therapist said, look at Chloe Hayden's videos because I think you'll connect a lot with her. And I did. And now I want to be that source to other people. And it's incredible the amount of mums who bring their daughters to my shows and say like, you know, my daughter gets to see someone else who's autistic be successful. And that's all I want. I want to inspire other little girls and little boys and other little queer people to be successful despite the barriers that we're given, because it is so possible, but we need to be inspired and confident enough to be able to do that.
Yeah, and being visible is one way, and a very important way to inspire people, I think, to reach their full potential.
I think, you know, a lot of people, they hide themselves and hide who they are. They dull themselves down because they don't want to feel like the most obvious and visible person in the room. But when I'm in the room, it's kind of hard to like, you know, outdo that. And so people feel more comfortable to be themselves. People see someone else with bright red hair and huge makeup and huge heels and a crazy outfit. And so they're like, oh, maybe it's not that bad. Like, I want to go to 150% so that maybe people can find their 100%. It's so beautiful seeing other people, you know, step into that room and feel like no one's going to judge them, because it is a room where no one will judge you. And I love creating that space.
Yeah. Yeah, I was honestly worried that I was going a bit too far out with the top. I'm like, like I was planning this for ages. I'm like, okay, I need to find a red permanent marker for the clapperboard. I need to make sure I'm wearing this exact top, this lipstick, everything.
Yeah, I love having a brand, and people associate with me with red now. Like I have a few strawberry tattoos because I dyed my hair red and everyone started calling me strawberry shortcake. Like it's become my thing now, and I will never be able to let go of red. It is my favorite color.
Yeah, it's always good as well when you Yeah, when you have, I guess, a color that becomes, I guess, a source of inspiration, and also identity as well.
Yeah.
Which I have to say, that brings to mind Taylor Swift's Red. Was that ever a source of, I guess, or was Taylor ever an inspiration for you?
I do love Taylor Swift. I'm a big fan, and I got a lot of, especially my early songwriting inspiration from Taylor. I started writing my first album when she released Folklore.
Oh, wow.
Folklore and Evermore, two of my favorite albums. Pretty much all the black and white albums are my favorite. But
I definitely noticed that with your older music videos where you were leaning into that black and white theme. I'm like, I'm hearing a bit of Taylor Swift.
I love the way that she just goes through genres and styles. She doesn't stick to one thing. And, you know, she's talked about how women in the music industry have to reinvent themselves. And I think that is true to stay relevant, even at such a small scale. I've had to change myself and become someone new for each album. But I also love that.
Yeah.
It's something I have to do, but it's also something I want to do. I want to
evolve
and find all of these new aspects of the things I love. I love being able to change myself and be like, I want to wear these clothes for the next 2 years. I want to dye my hair this color. I want to create a new story. Trying to Hate You was that album was the first time I really invented a whole story. Every single music video was connected to the album. Every single song was connected to each other. It had a cohesive story. It had symbols and little things that you could pick up in each song that all connected to the same thing. Like, it had symbolism. I write albums like an author writes a novel, and I think I get a lot of that from Taylor Swift as well.
Yeah, she's definitely known for dropping Easter eggs as well. Is there anything we should be looking out for?
I want to do Easter eggs, but I feel like I think of them afterwards and I'm like, yeah, that could totally be an Easter egg, I guess, if you thought of it that way. But I don't intentionally do Easter eggs, but I want to. I think I'm just like shifting into a new genre and a new style, and I'm starting to world build and put together that story of my next album, but there'll definitely be more stuff that I love my fans to put together, more in like, oh, this song has a lyric that references this song and stuff like that. I love lyrical references. And so that's the main thing that I love people discovering in my songs.
Yeah, I'll definitely keep an ear out for that. And as you were talking about, I guess, the music videos being interconnected, something popped into my head. Have you heard of Zelita?
Yes.
Yes, she did she's done like 3 music videos.
Yes, I know the ones you're talking about. They're so amazing.
And then she brought as well the lovers, or as the main focus of her newest music video, Hypocrite, as well, which I hate to be the uni student here, but I did a video essay on it.
Oh, I love that.
So basically, I've been watching those all 4 of the music videos with like an eagle eye and just being like, what can I see that follows through?
Yeah.
Also, one thing I noticed is that by bringing these characters back, she also ditched their signature colors. They had Gia wearing black and Zelita was wearing pink most of the time. But then in Hypocrite, they've changed. And that is probably the root of their breakup. Or at least you can assume that. And similar thing with you and your, I guess, post breakup glow up. You've there's basically evolution is a really, I guess, interesting topic to go down.
Yeah. I mean, I love the symbolism that I created with Trying to Hate You's music videos, because a lot of the album was about cinema and movies, because the person I wrote the album about, we used to go to the movies all the time. And so all 4 of the music videos were a different genre of film. And they all went through a similar story, like, across the album, but they were all like, one was sci-fi apocalyptic, one was analog horror, the other one was 1950s Hollywood, and then there was like fantasy.
Yeah, I was looking at that and I'm like, I'm not sure I know there's something connecting these. I'm just, I was like, maybe I'm missing a bit of the lore here, but.
Yeah, there's a lot of references, like there's a song called Cinema Girl. There's a lot of references to movies and films and a film reel. Like in nearly every song there's a reference to film. And so I wanted to bring that into the music videos. In the end, it was an apocalyptic thing. I did a thing on gay rights and a right-wing government who was taking over and abolished gay rights and stuff, and so we were fighting for our freedom. But I lost the love of my life and was dealing with that loss, which I feel like, is symbolic of the album. Then there was How to Get Over You, where I lost this person and I was searching for myself again. And I go through this door and I find myself and I find music. And then what was next? There was Digging Graves, where I was trying to bury that grief. And I was dealing with the ghosts of my past and trying to get over it. And then there was Trying to Hate You, which was a sort of fun wrap up using film references and old films and like recreating them and gender bending them, and it was kind of just an overall summary and kind of just letting go.
Yeah, I think one thing for me, especially with grief, is when you go through it, for me, I feel like I'm not allowed to cry. And so that's, to be able to see a musician who goes through it through the different stages goes through the different stages and actually doesn't just try to put that in a box. And that's really, I guess that really resonated with me.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to have an exploration of grief in a way that it's like, grief comes in many forms. My grief in Trying to Hate You, that album was a lot about losing an unrequited love. It was like the first person that I loved, and it was unrequited. I never even got the chance to fulfill it. It was that grief of never knowing what could have been.
Yeah.
But then there's, now with these next songs that I'm writing, I'm focusing on that grief of a love that I did have, but I was treated so poorly and put down and made to feel like I wasn't enough. I wasn't given what I needed. And I thought that everything that I needed was too much. Like that shattering of your self-confidence, you feel like you've lost a part of yourself. Like grief is not just one thing. It's not a person passing away. That is not the only time you feel grief. You feel grief with so many things, with losing friendships, with losing family, with losing a partner, even if it was just a short relationship, losing yourself. There's so many types of grief that I want to explore.
It is definitely a multifaceted experience as well to feel that grief. I've definitely been feeling a bit of it as well over the past few months. So yeah, it's good to I guess be able to channel it into something creative, into some sort of outlet.
Yeah, it's been very helpful. I mean, Digging Graves music video was filmed, I think, only a week after my breakup. And so being able to like put everything into that performance really helped, and I think it made the work so much more beautiful.
That was honestly a remarkable music video, and yeah, I love how all of these are, I guess, drawing on your life experiences as well.
Yeah, I get to take my experiences and flip them into something symbolic. And I think it's really fun being able to, making art out of my memories and my feelings and my experiences sort of gives me a way to let them go. I've done with something with it. I've looked at it from every angle to make art from it, and now I can let it go.
Yeah, with feelings, I can only really, it's basically like you feel it and then you need to tuck it away. One thing I really wanted to, circle back to is your focus on queer relationships, which I absolutely adore, because because these relationships are, I guess, not you don't hear them on the radio
Yeah.
as much as they should be. And I guess I love that you're doing what is true to you, true to your life, and that authenticity that you have really shines through in each of your songs.
Yeah, it was definitely scary at first. I mean, my family has always been really accepting, but I have a very large extended family. And I never came out to any of them. They all discovered when I just started singing about it and having articles written about me as a gay musician, and they all just kind of accepted it, and which is really nice. But it was scary. My first song I wrote about being gay was Hide With Me, which is a song I wrote inspired by Heartstopper. And it was a scary first step to put myself in the world like that. But the amount of people who connect with seeing someone else who's queer singing songs that they like is beautiful, because you're right, there is not as many mainstream queer artists on the radio singing about gay love, and it's so important to have that representation of all types of relationships and all types of heartbreak, because gay love is also not perfect, just like people in heterosexual relationships. Like, we experience that pain, but a lot of the times that pain can be more intense because a lot of queer people don't have the same support systems that straight people do. So at least if we can have music to help us through that, then we won't feel as alone.
Yeah, it's amazing that you're creating this this space that's like, you know, I see you, I hear you, I'm feeling this too, and actually, will you, so you've done a lot of the breakup songs, but I'm really looking forward to also seeing where you go next, drawing back on that theme of evolution. But do you think you're going to do any love songs, falling in love album coming up?
I think so. It was funny when Manic came out. I'd written it ages before, but I had just recently gotten into a relationship at the time, and so I was singing about, you know, tell your friends and family you think I'm the one, sweetest girl you've ever seen, now watch me hit and run. And I was like, guys, that's not me anymore, that's not me. But now I'm releasing all of these songs. Like, I'm 2 years delayed from, like, I wrote all of these songs 2 years ago when I went through my breakup, and I'm only just starting to release them. So
is that to refine them and polish them?
Honestly, it's just because I wrote these songs and I was only just starting my release for Trying to Hate You. There tends to be a backlog because I'm writing so much all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I have a whole album written before I've even released the one that I'm releasing at the time. Just like I'm starting to write for the next one, and I'm not even started releasing the next album. So I'm usually always an album or two ahead. So now I'm going into this album cycle for songs that I wrote 2 years ago. I'm having to, like, you know, really channel like what it was like back then to like get in the zone. But I am in a 1.5 year long relationship, and it's the most amazing relationship I've ever been in, the most stable relationship. And I have written some love songs, but I have to go through the breakup album first before I can get to that. So it is coming at some point, but again, most musicians are on a backlog of songs, and so yeah, I've got to get through this part of my catalog first.
Yeah, but also that sets the stage, I think, as well, to show why this relationship that you're in is, I guess, is earned, because the Kaiyah that you were a few years back, you know, is not the same person that is in this relationship now.
You're exactly right, and I wouldn't want to skip over this album because I do love the songs, but I also wouldn't want to skip over it because at the end of the day, my songs are about me and my story, and people can take them and interpret them however they want, but one day I'm going to look back and have all of my feelings and my memories recorded in a timeline of music, and I'm going to be able to listen back to my life, which is so incredible that I'll get to do that. But it's important because my going into this relationship and finding someone who genuinely cared for me and wanted to be with me and lift me up, like, there's so much anxiety that comes with that after being put down. I tried shielding myself and almost preparing to end it because I didn't want to be hurt again like that. And there's all those barriers you need to jump through after being crushed, like confidence-wise, before you can fall in love again. And that's a really important thing that I want to explore with these new songs.
Yeah, love is such a vulnerable feeling, and one of my friends hasn't fallen in love before, and so we got talking about it, and I was just like, you'll know it when you feel it, but also at the same time, it's one of those things that you can't really stop it from happening.
And that's kind of what I've been writing about it. Like, Trying to Hate You was about someone that I spent nearly 2 years trying to stop myself from liking, who didn't like me back. And so I was trying to hate them as my coping mechanism to stop myself from loving them. And it didn't work. But going through, like, love is unpredictable. And you try and protect yourself as much as you can, but there's not much you can really do. And so I'm really trying to figure out how to put that into words.
Yeah, that is one of the, I guess, tough things about love is, and also as well, so we've all grown up with, like, I guess, the fairy tales where it's like love is this one singular thing, you're going to find your soulmate and that's the end of it. But love really is something that you can experience over and over again, and each love is different. Is that the experience you've had with your relationships?
I think so. I mean, especially being young and being a teenager, you meet so many different people and you have feelings, but because it's your first time experiencing these feelings, you have no idea what they are. You don't know if it's love or a crush or lust or hate or just like these tiny feelings, or if they're big feelings. They all feel big because it's our first time feeling any of these feelings. And so it's like, do I just want to kiss this person? Do I want to be friends with this person? Oh, and then you add the whole, I'm gay into it. Like, it's so confusing being a teenager and falling for people because we have nothing to compare it to. And so a lot of my songs that I've been writing, like, I'm still 19, I'm still a teenager, and I've gone through so many types of relationships. Like, I can't even begin to imagine what the rest of my life is going to be like. You know, I've had the shitty relationships and then I've had the amazing falling in love. And, it also takes time to learn that there are hard parts to being completely in love. But that doesn't mean that they're anything like the people who treated me poorly. There's that, like, we're told a relationship's supposed to be perfect when you're in love.
Yeah.
But then you get into it and it's not, and so you feel like something's wrong. We're just told a complete lie. I'm still utterly in love with my partner, but we have a fight here and there. Like, that's normal. But no one tells you that. We have to learn that all on our own, and we think that we're doing something wrong. That's why love is so hard and complicated, especially when you're young, because no one actually tells us what love's like.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's kind of unfair. So I'm trying to be honest with how love is. It's not always sunshine and rainbows. And I think especially my fans who are young, I want them to hear my music and realize, like, you can still be in love and it still be hard. It just isn't supposed to be too hard.
Yeah. I guess the best way to put that is that you need to be treated with respect. And sometimes, I guess you'll butt heads a little bit, but you should be able to work around it, not being told that one person gets their way and the other person has to step aside all the time. Like, that's, yeah.
And above all else, you should love each other and respect each other. And when you fight, there should be respect and there should be love, despite how mad you are. Like, there's two ends of the scale. People are like, you should never fight because then your relationship isn't perfect. And then there are people who are like, we fight every single day. Like, neither of those are correct.
Yeah.
It's normal to fight sometimes. It's not normal for each of those ends of the scale.
Yeah.
There needs to be balance, and no matter what, there needs to be love and respect and kindness, and you need to push each other up even when you're mad. fairy tales and the media and movies, none of them are honest with how real love is. And that's something a lot of us have to learn on our own. And we make a lot of mistakes on the way. I've just been lucky enough to be able to dissect it with my music and hopefully help other people not make all of those same mistakes I did.
Yeah, you're right. You will go through, I guess, and learn from your own mistakes. Is there any like tough lesson that you've learned, whether that's through music or through love, that you've taken forward with you?
When I was younger, I was very insecure, and I don't think most people would pick that now, considering, you know, I
The bright
stand
red
out.
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that I go on stage, like I'd been a dancer since I was a kid, and I was always at the back of class. I didn't want anyone to see me. I was shy. I could barely make friends. I didn't want to talk in front of people, like very, very, very shy person. And I hated myself, and I didn't understand why. And I always wanted to be bright and colorful, but I was too scared. And one thing I will say is doing the scary thing can sometimes be the most amazing thing, because ever since I started doing the scary things, going on stage in front of people and playing my songs about my feelings and dyeing my hair red and doing crazy makeup and wearing the clothes I wanted to, they're things that I thought would be terrifying forever. But now they're the only reason why I have any confidence. Because I look in the mirror and I see myself. I don't see that girl with brown hair who wears the clothes that everyone else wears. I see that girl with bright red hair who does the makeup that she wants, even though other people might think it's too much, and wears the clothes that she wants. And I feel more confident than I ever have in my life. And I think if I had that confidence in the past, I might not have gotten so badly hurt with my previous relationship, because I think I might have loved myself a little more and not let someone treat me like that. So I think, yeah, doing the scary thing and the things that we've always wanted to do are not going to ruin your confidence. In fact, they'll just make it so much stronger.
Yeah, that's an important lesson, I think, to take away. And I actually do want to just tie this back to this podcast as well, which is that that part of the reason why I launched this podcast is because I wanted to be the kind of host that I imagined myself as a little girl being. I used to be basically like in my room trying to, I guess, you know, making up these like imaginary guests to interview and imagining that I had like my own talk show. And
It's funny, I used to imagine being the guest.
so yeah, it is absolutely amazing to meet people like you and to be the host as well. The one thing that I got really insecure about when I started hosting was that I was only as cool as the guest was, and that's not true, basically, and I had to undo that. And the reason why it's not true is because, like, you are providing a platform. You're the one asking the questions. The guest is only able to respond to the questions you ask. And I've heard some hosts who make like rookie mistakes, and I'm like, oh, you were so close to what would have been a great nugget of an interview. So
Yeah, and that's the sort of confidence I'm talking about. Like, isn't everything so much better once we find that confidence in ourselves and we trust ourselves a little more?
yeah, and it's amazing that you have found your confidence, and I can't wait to see what is coming up for you next and in the future. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.